Death whistle.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another $5 haul. The last recording was genuinely haunted, I think. Like, there was just so many problems going into editing it. My phone wasn't on the correct format after sending it to Google Drive because my phone charging port is broken. Well, first I had to download a VLC player because I didn't have it on my computer because my computer had to reboot. I had to put a new OS on my computer since there was a problem with the other one. Since the last video, I learned to have my camera a lot farther away. I did not do my nails for this one. I thought I would just clean them up a bit. I don't really have much nail polish that I could use to salvage how this looks. Maybe I'll do like actually themed nail polish. It depends on how these take off, I guess. Because on top of buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards, that would be buying nail polish. I want to know exactly how this format is to you, the viewer. I want to know if it's more enjoyable to watch me just loosely going off the cuff and showing you things that I think is cool before going into there. The first video I definitely did not have much of an idea of what I was doing. There's a lot more cards in this one. This is from DT Game. I guess one way to start grading these is by presentation, because these are probably the two least interesting cards from this haul you could have put on the front. I don't think that presentation for a haul is too much for a distributor to really go into, because they're probably not going, oh yeah, these are going to be recorded for a YouTube video. So they probably just put all the cards as is, like this. But for the sake of a new series for $5 hauls, you're going to have to deduct a point. I will do my best to show you the cards that I have with the setup that this is, but it does require me to stand up in an awkward way. I like these card openings a lot. I think this tape is definitely a lot more acceptable. If anybody noticed the audio desync on the last video, you've got very keen ears, first off, and second off, it was because the audio was misplaced and skipping on the main video. So I need to use the audio from my microphone, which I have plugged in here. Now, how, pray tell, do I open you? They put a logic puzzle in my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, okay. Is it like... are these like separate sleeve things? I'm doing my best to at least keep it like centered. Can I get a "we hate tape" in the comments? I hope you guys hate tape as much as I do. Scotch tape is awful. I'm gonna try and speak a little bit more intelligently than I did in the last one. I know I dropped a lot of F-bombs. Half of that was assuming that my previous audience would be there and they would not care because I am a foul-mouthed sailor. And half of it was assuming that the Yu-Gi-Oh community doesn't really care, because censorship is a bad thing in Yu-Gi-Oh. And I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Tubers that just swear as they please. Let me know. All I want these to be is easier to watch. So we have our first collection. Let me look real quick, because this didn't come with a receipt, but this was supposed to have 46 cards, if I remember correctly. I'll take a second in the editing to tell you exactly how much the cheapest and what the most expensive was. So, in the last video, I did say, I watched Frames, and you'll be able to tell that I watched Frames and really like Playmaker, because these, you'll see, I got a lot of cards that have I on them. You saw from the card that literally has just his hand on it. I'm a bit of a stan. He's my bias. We've got I Love Fusion. There was a border, I think a profile border in Master Duel that I missed. IQ. AIQ. However you'd like to pronounce it. I call him I because that is the pun. His name is I because he showed up as an I, and I is spelled AI in Japanese. I don't exactly know the term for it, but I know that in Japan they love their puns. I's Ritual. They're just so cute. I love this little goober. Look at this little goober. How can you not love him? He's so cool. He's just doing shit and loving it. He's perpetually a goofball. And I think more characters should be like that. I like the dynamic that him and Playmaker have, where one is just a stone-cold, calculated character, and then the character that's supposed to be an AI, although saying he doesn't understand human things, he tends to have a lot more human reactions to things than Playmaker, and I think that that's cute. Igneister is... I think I is considered a different archetype, but it is purely made for Igneister support, at Igneister support. Dark Templar looks cool. He has, like, the different... He has, like, the line thing going on with him, so he has, like, the eye lines, and they're all purple. It kind of looks like if you beefed him up and put him in a suit of armor. Now, something I will say, there is this thing that plagues Yu-Gi-Oh! Called Konami Orbs, and there's definitely a few on here. They are not the most egregious thing here, but they are there. Doyon. And I haven't seen enough to see any of the Igneister monsters. I only know of I, and I think the other characters that look like him. And they're all named, like, elemental stuff. So there's one called Windy. This thing's weird. It kind of reminds me of, the Mitamas from Shin Megami Tensei. It definitely has that kind of Jin quality to it. Gachiri at Igneister. And I can't really tell what this card art is supposed to be. I think that's a big shield and a little guy, but that's more Igneister support. Gusari at Igneister, and I guess this one is a giant sword wielded by a tiny guy, and that tiny guy also seems to look a lot like I. Big sword will always be cool. Lightning. Something weird that I've noticed is that Cyberse as a typing seems to take precedent over elemental things. You could absolutely have called this a thunder monster. It's Cyberse, because it's a Cyberse monster. It is earth attribute. There is no thunder attribute or lightning attribute. It just kind of confuses me in the way that there's definitely the philosophy of Cyberse as a typing without making it an archetype. I feel like they didn't know where to put it. They wanted to make the Cyberse. They couldn't make it an archetype with different typings. They couldn't make it an attribute. Although I think they could have made it an attribute. I think that would have been cool if they had a little Cyberse thing up here and it had like eye or something. That would have been cute. This level 8 monster has the same amount of attack as Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's neat. Speaking of dragons, Light Dragon at Igneister. That one's got a pretty cool art. You're not going to see anything shiny yet, because there is a lot of ad Igneisters in here that I just wanted for the support for I, in case I do get into using those cards. I don't see myself deck building much, other than the online games. But if I do, I think I would be very cute to have in my deck. Melfi Hide and Seek, because Melfi is just the cutest archetype in the game. You really can't go wrong. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is very neat for trying out a lot of different art styles. I think that games like Magic and Pokemon get caught up in being the same thing that it's been for 20, 30 years, and it can't really deviate from what it is. So something like Yu-Gi-Oh!, which uses art style for specific archetypes, is really, really cool to me. Tie Strike, he's doing this like Mario and Luigi hammer strike, and I think that's just adorable. Really nice, cute art on there. You and I is just a very cute card. I love Link Karibo. I think having all three, Link Karibo, I, and Decode Talker all in the same art is very cute. All of them rushing towards something. I'm gonna start going through these a little bit quicker because I can't really just hang on every card. One Kuriway is a very funny card. Target one Link monster in either graveyard, return it to the extra deck, or special summon it to its owner's field. You can only activate one Kuriway per turn. The thing about this is that it looks like it would be support for the Karibo Link cards, like Linkaribo and Lingaribo, but it's just general Link support, so it pretty much just regenerates Link monsters. I guess in a format where you have Link monsters, you need something to recycle them. Because I think every single one of them has something like that. Flip Frozen's cute. This is another Cyberse. I don't even know if I meant to do that. I think I just grabbed Flip Frozen because I think he's really cute. Sorcerer of Sebek I got because Sebek's Blessing is one of my favorite card arts. If you haven't seen Sebek's Blessing, it is a dumpy looking alligator man, and it's just a joy to look at. And I learned that this exists, and I had to get it, because Sebek's Blessing is just one of my favorite card arts of all time, and I don't think anything's really topping it. There's a few types of cards in my mind when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! You have the really pretty ones, you have the really cool ones, and then you just have utterly stupid bullshit. And that is my unfiltered comment for this video, because what is obese marmot of nefariousness? I will probably be getting a lot of stupid cards in one of these hauls, so look forward to that. I will probably dedicate a haul to stupid cards if there is a seller that has all of them. Ghost Trick Festival has a lot going on. I think that Ghost Trick is really cute, but I don't really know how to utilize them all the best. But I never got the hang of them. Another Ghost Trick card, I just love how cute they are. I think that this is one of the cuter archetypes. It's just one that didn't necessarily fall into my playstyle. Love that Frankenstein guy in the front. Frankenstein is one of my favorite classic movie monsters. Wasn't the biggest fan of Nosferatu or Dracula. I like Saw. Saw isn't like classic, but you can call it a classic. It's old enough to be called a classic. I like Saw. I think the way that things are presented in Saw and the way that the stakes are held makes it a very interesting and fun watch. Ghost Trick Siren. I'm gonna start flying through these a little bit. Link Slayer Adigneister. Eucalyptus Mall is one of the ones that is one of my favorite stupid card arts. This guy is just so cool. Look at his little sunglasses. How can you not love Eucalyptus Mall? He's such a chill dude, and I love I didn't learn the rarities. Between this video and the last, I did not learn the rarities. I do like the gold text. Cool Tune Playlist. This is more Cool Tune. I hope you like Cool Tune, because you're gonna see a lot of Cool Tune. This and the last haul were both pretty much the same hunt, where I was trying to just get a lot of cards that I like, both visually and in terms of playstyle. So some of them are visual, some of them are playstyle, some of them are both. And there's not much to say about Cool Tune Playlist, except for I mean, come on, the lighting on it, the artwork is pristine. That is this collection. And I will take all the time to sleeve that later. Raises a question for me why they didn't add the other archetypes in the front. Can we not with tape? Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but tape kind of sucks. Can we have, like, maybe something that latches? Maybe something that... I really don't want to bend or damage these cards in any way. I don't want to, like, run my nail across them and end up peeling the whole artwork off or something. Let's excavate these carefully as possible. Idol Reborn. I imagine that the pun reads a lot easier on the Japanese cards, because it would be like Idoru. I know that a lot of the cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are not written in Japanese, really. At least, the titles for things in Japanese are, for the most part, katakana. Katakana is mostly used for phonetic English. So I imagine that the way that it's put on the card up here is Aidoru Sprite Smashers. I do remember getting a couple Sprite cards. I haven't played Sprite, but I do think that Sprite does look neat because they're like these electric guys in puffy jackets, and I think that's awesome and cute. Here's one of the cards I was really excited for, and it looks amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. A Stellar of the White Forest that has Mu on the side and a little spiral off of the head, arms crossed over the book, and the beautiful, beautiful gloss on this card is mesmerizing. I love it so much. I was so excited to get these. I didn't open these for such a long time because I wanted to make the first video first and not like cross the wires with it, and especially because the last video was haunted, I did my best to not cross the wires and didn't have these open until after that. And I guess the weight just made it all more fantastic. I love this card so much. It's so cute, and the foil, and I believe the correct term is hollow foil, and it's just beautiful, gorgeous. Take a look at that. It looks so much better in person, I'm gonna be honest with you, because the whole card lights up in such a distinct way. When it just, it's so much yeah, see, this is a bit better. This is how it comes up in real life, more so. The light hits it differently on camera. What a gorgeous card. Here's another one. This haul is full of these, and I'm just so glad that I got all of the ones that I wanted. This cross sheet with un on the side, everything lighting up beautifully on there, little sparkles, even the arrows light up, which I love about these Link monsters, is that the holofoil goes into the Link arrows and makes it all just look so gorgeous, everything harmonious together. This was the moment I was waiting for. I'm so glad that this is the one I opened up last. This card is so funny. I love Dimension Shifter with the buy on it. I had to question whether or not this was a real card. This is an alternate art for Dimension Shifter, and it's practically the exact same art as Dimension Shifter, but it just says buy on it. This banishes cards that would regularly go to the graveyard. That's so funny. I love this so much. This card is gorgeous. This one is a little bit less stellar than the rest of them, but I'm not disappointed at all. Eldritch the Golden Lord, that says Utsukan on the side, which I believe means thank you for coming. Another gorgeous foil on this one, just covers the whole thing. He has so much aura and swag here. It's hard not to love it. Little sparkles on the side. It's so... These cards are so pretty. I love them so much. And this one especially is just really cute. Having Eldritch be like, thank you for coming to my amazing show of OTKing you. I know that Eldritch was a menace whenever Master Duel started, and I hope he continues to be a menace and steal everyone's hearts instead of your games. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. Oh, wow. If anybody could translate the ones that I don't know, that would be very much appreciated, because I did bother to look up the ones that I could read. Eldritch is in plain hiragana. That I can look up easily enough because I can read it. This is a kanji that I am not familiar with. Very interesting ideas with how the light is placed on this one. The way that it touches the eyes the way that it does, particularly, and the way that it fades into the holofoil is very interesting. And I'm trying my best to get it better on camera than my voice. Just because these are the cream of the crop here. These are what you gotta see. Laundry Dragon Maid. This one is spectacular. It says Sumimasen. What else can I say? These are gorgeous. These are just so pretty. I think it went a little bit overkill putting it on the eyes and the horns, because I think like this could be one of the best cards visually, period. But when you do this, it kind of kills it for me. I'm sorry. I think that this is a phenomenal card art, and the holofoil kind of does bad to it. I think this is the first one that is actively impacting the visual design negatively. But I also don't use Ghost Mourner, so I'm not the most acquainted with it. Lingeribo. This one's another good one. I think the way that the light hits and accents this one feels a lot more natural. I think it's because it's supposed to be more of like a metallic being. The way that it kind of fades out on its face is really, really cool. I don't know how the holofoiling process is done, but that would be something neat to learn, probably. I think it'd be really cool to know how they do that and how they make all of this look the way they do. Lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Once again, a character I'm not familiar with. This one is also a little bit messy with how it chooses to foil things, because a problem with it is that you kind of lose some of the detail within it whenever you start hitting a lot of it with the holofoil. I don't think the wings and horns were necessary. I do like on these cards that the text is what sticks out the most, but I would like it to be a lot more cohesively foiled. Magic Cylinder. I don't know if it's just the light here. Okay, they did hit the lettering on this one, so it's almost everything but the magic cylinders. I do like the question marks lighting up on there. I think it kind of takes away from the depth of the art. That's not bad, and I do like looking at rainbow cardboard. You cannot go wrong with rainbow cardboard. Malice P. White Rabbit. I can only guess that this says, like, I'm late, or something like that, because they're looking at the clock. They're supposed to be the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Once again, not the biggest fan of the eyes, but this one at least isn't the most messy thing in the world. I do wish that the letters popped out a bit more, because you do look at some of these, like, kind of sans foil, and you go like, okay, I like that a lot. And then you look at it with the foil and you're like, they could have done a little better. Raigeki. What a beautiful, beautiful card. Oh my god. This one, just looking at it in real life and having it do what it's doing, because I'm observing these more on the camera now, but I will go through and look at them. Kind of hurting my neck to look down at the camera though. Monstao, and then I can imagine that says like destruction. Fantastic. This one's great. I think this one gets a pass just because it has a lot of it gives itself presence when it's all shiny like this, and it's just Raigeki, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, pulling this straight out the hand and being like, bam! Reinforcement of the army. This one just says, "Wow!" on it. They're all doing like a battle cry, rushing forward. I never noticed before, this one's got like a bit of a... I can't tell if that's like more of a kendo helmet or a football helmet. Definitely something, definitely interesting. There is a beautiful, gorgeous Sprite Blue. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at you. Curious. This one's Thunder. Not a Cyburst monster. You look at it and you go, maybe that's Cyburst. You know, maybe it's got like a bit of a online digital sort of thing. That is Thunder. Sprite Jet, looking pretty. I kind of can't tell what it's supposed to be. I think those are legs, and I think this is supposed to be some sort of like drifting pose. Something that Yu-Gi-Oh tends to have a problem with is its display of, I don't know, as an artist, it's kind of easy to see the sort of things where it's like, oh, this is a bit too messy, and oh, this is like... Perspective is a very weird thing with Yu-Gi-Oh art. You won't always get the best perspective with Yu-Gi-Oh art. Oh, that is gorgeous. Sprite starter. Oh, you... Oh, that's pretty. I think it's just the electricity kind of thing shows up really nice in these holofoil cards. Just a thing to marvel at. Tour guide from the underworld says Kochira desu. Yummy surprise, because I had to get some Yummy cards. I think Yummy is one of those archetypes that just has the most adorable artwork. You gotta love it. They're little candy cats, little treats, little sweets, little cute little guys. And this one, I mean, perfect foil, perfect foil. No notes, absolutely stellar. Yet another Yummy card. I think this one's still awesome, but there's definitely a lot going on in it, and it's because it's a field spell. Cards like Ojama Country and all that will have very busy artwork, but I think it's on purpose because they're supposed to be showing a much wider world. And I know there are some spell cards that are like, here's a big castle, here's a big field, here's the ocean. And those are very simple, but then you have ones that are trying to show off an entire archetype, and you just kinda have to do this. Not bad at all, though. I like the foil on this one. Broomy. Why are you a spellcaster, Broomy? Why are you a tuner, Broomy? What are you doing, Broomy? Why are you alive, Broomy? Is that why you're a spellcaster? Were you brought to life with magic? You got some explaining to do, Broomy. Broomy is just one of those cards I looked at and I went, this is dumb, I need to have it. Put him in the pile, have him preserved for the rest of time. And that brings us back to Idol Reborn and the end of this haul. These will all be sleeved after the fact. Overall, I don't mind all of the cards that weren't glossy, glittery, whatever. I don't think that is a knock towards what I bought, because I wasn't necessarily hunting that down. But the ones that are shiny are cool and awesome. Thank you for showing up for another $5 haul. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and all that awesome stuff. Make sure to support me in my endeavors if you want to see more $5 hauls, because $5 can only be spent so many times before you have no more $5. If you like looking at shiny cardboard with me, that is all the reason more to support what I do. I feel like this is a format that's a lot closer to my live streams that I used to do, and it allows me to speak a lot more freely and a lot more interestedly about things, I suppose. Because with video games, it's not really easy to always sit there and be like, I'm into this is cool, check this out. Because sometimes it'll come off as hollow, especially whenever you have to play a game sequentially, running through the whole thing sometimes won't be the most enjoyable thing. And I don't really have to lock myself down to finish this kind of thing, because I can do it as many times as I want. There's billions of cards. Well, there's like 14,000 cards, but who's counting? It would be cool to have all the cards one day, and I think that's what this is progressively working towards. But it probably won't be exactly that, because I know there are some cards that are just way too expensive. But the point of $5 haul is to see how many we can get without breaking the bank. And this is a lot. This is definitely a bang for your buck. DT Games over here doing the Lord's work in allowing you to get all of this, almost 50 cards. This has to be my favorite card, period. It's just so cute. It's just so cute. This has got to be the funniest. Maybe this one. He's very polite. I think there's gonna be a heavy trend of all of these holofoil ones having the glowing eyes. I gave this one a pass because it seems to have a bit more direction with the idea, where it's Ghost Mourner, so it's teary-eyed, so it makes sense that the eyes are glowing. But in terms of a couple of these other ones, you could use a little more understanding the artistic intent behind it. That being said, this is a very good card, even if you're not taking into account that the horns and her eyes and I guess her wrists are glowing. I think maybe if we get to a point, we should do like a tournament of kings or queens or monarchs, where we just go through maybe my favorite cards, some fan favorite cards from our $5 hauls, see which one reigns supreme in terms of card art. I think that would be very fun to get into. I definitely want to milk this for as much as I can without spending too much. I don't know, there might be a Patreon, there might be some way for me to make money off of this. Maybe through donations, maybe I'll get some viewer hauls or something. I don't have a P.O. box and I don't know how to set that up, but thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this $5 haul. This was Noryu, signing off.